Well, good morning on April 15th. As you can tell, I'm in my tent and it's raining outside, but it's time to wake up and get my shit packed and probably be walking in the rain today. So, all good. Just another no rain, no pain, no main day. So, we'll see. DogTag out. So DogTag's ready to get out there, but I'm trying to wait for a lull in the rain. As you can see, Optimus and there's somewhere over there is Big Sexy. Sticks is up in the tree in his hammock, and earlier I was getting these little lulls in the rain, and I thought I could catch one and get my tent down and then get on the trail. I guess I'm just gonna have to suck it up and get out there in the rain and do it. So, and of course, the way DogTag's luck is that he'll get out there, he'll get the tent down, and as soon as I get the tent down, then the rain will stop. So, but you know, it's all part of the adventure. So I'll turn the camera around and get a quick picture of the outside from inside my tent using a dry camera, and then I'll put my camera back in my Ziploc bag to try to keep it dry. That's been one of my problems with all the rain, is trying to shoot footage with my camera, or with my phone, but you know, when it gets wet, then the buttons don't all want to work. So I'll shoot one with it dry, and then I'll put my phone away, and then I'm gonna pack, and I'll maybe try to shoot one just as I'm leaving. We'll see. All right, DogTag out. So Big Sexy is behind that blowdown over there. There's a stump there, and his tent is behind there. It's camouflaged green, so you can't really see it, but you can see that Optimus and Dr. Quinn had chosen not to pack in the rain, unlike dumb DogTag. So DogTag's gonna, DogTag's gonna go ahead and get out in this nasty rain and start getting my tent down. So keep me in your prayer. And I know the rain sounds bad, but in a sense it's good for the trail because it keeps water on the trail, so we don't have to go without water. So DogTag out. Well, DogTag here. Morning. As you can see, I've got new rain gear. I bought myself a poncho when I was at the last the supplier, and it definitely repels the water better than my rain jacket, so it'll suck to walk in for a while, but at least I'll stay a little bit drier. So as you can see, the rest of the family has chosen to wait out the rain. They say it's supposed to stop around 9 o'clock, which is maybe an hour and a half from now. So that'll give me a nice big lead on them. So maybe I'll finish close to the same time they do tonight. So, but I prefer to walk in the cool weather this morning, and it is cool and drizzly, but hey, no rain, no pain, no Maine, and we're getting to Maine. So 366 on the trail today. We're supposed to do 10-11 miles, so we'll be 377. So we'll see. All right, DogTag's getting on the trail and walking, so we'll talk to y'all later.
DogTag here on the AT, and something that most of us don't talk about while we're out here is taking a dump in the woods. And when you wake up in the morning and you get on the trail and you feel heavy, you just got to find the perfect spot. And this morning the rain stopped, the wind kept, but I found the leeward side of a hill and I found a perfect log to lean up against while you do your morning business. And of course, left no trace, so nobody even knows that I was here. But DogTag's a little bit lighter and ready to start walking more miles. So we'll talk to y'all later. Bye. So DogTag here, nearing the summit of my first big up today. And the wind is still blowing. The rain has kind of stopped, so I took off my poncho but left my rain jacket on. I don't know why I call it a rain jacket, because when it rains everything underneath gets wet anyways. But the poncho seemed to keep me dry this morning during the rain. So that was a nice little add that I added at the last resupply. But I stopped here because these big boulders here are kind of blocking the wind, and thought that it would be a good spot to just do my morning hello. I know I've already said hello from my tent when it was raining, and I said hello a couple other times, but it's April 15th. You know, when you're out here on the trail, you forget certain days. Fortunately, all of us in the family filed our taxes long before we got on the trail, so Uncle Sam can't come find us. I did leave a deposit for the IRS a little ways back. Hopefully they'll come find it, so if they want it. But it's all good. So tomorrow we go over Roan Mountain. We originally had planned to do it today, but we shortened our mileage yesterday by 2 miles. So we're gonna check up just short of Roan Mountain. Roan Mountain is one of the top 5 mountains on the AT. There was an argument yesterday around the dinner area about whether it was the top 3 or top 4. So if anybody knows, they can message me and let me know. Is Roan Mountain the 4th highest mountain on the AT or the 3rd highest mountain on the AT? So I know we can Google it and look it up, but it's just fun to ask questions like that on my channel. So I need to keep moving because the tramily probably hasn't left yet, but they'll catch me quick. So it was an up out of the spot that we camped at. We've got a few ups and downs today, and then the evening before we get to our campsite we go about halfway up Roan Mountain, and then we're camping there. And then tomorrow morning again we'll start with an up, but going up over the top of Roan Mountain. And as you can see, the mystical forest has returned, and it is now in Tennessee. And so DogTag's gonna get moving, and thanks everybody for prayers, thoughts, and all the stuff that you guys are, just thanks for watching. You know, I don't have thousands of followers, but it's nice that I do have some followers that are enjoying this journey with me. So for now, DogTag out. Well, DogTag here at Curtis Beard Shelter is built as an Eagle Scout project back in 2009. This is where I'm supposed to be meeting the tramily. I can't believe they're that far behind me, unless they're going slow just to give DogTag the glory of making it to the shelter before them. So I'm gonna grab something to eat and drink, and hopefully we'll see them soon. DogTag out. So DogTag here at Curtis Baird Shelter, and Optimus and Dr. Quinn are back there in the wind, and it's cold. They're trying to dry their tent out from last night's rain, or this morning's rain. So that's Jedi standing with his back to me, and of course Big Sexy's over there taking a break, and then I think stick somewhere underneath the shelter. But the sun has come out, but the wind is blowing, and with the wind it drops the temperature probably at least 10-15 degrees. Kind of chilly, so DogTag needs to get moving, because I took my rain jacket off, which helps break the wind, but with just my sweater and a short sleeve shirt, it is kind of chilly. So DogTag's going to get moving. All right, DogTag out. So we're up here. Big Sexy, he just passed me, and looking over what we might be Little Rock Vista, or it might be a little further, and there might be a bigger rock that makes it Little Rock Vista. Let's see. But beautiful view. The wind wasn't blowing so bad, we'd be having a great day. But wind blowing, so it sucks. DogTag out. So these are the real trail angels right here. These guys are doing some awesome work. Sorry to interrupt your work.
Oh, no problem.
You guys are awesome. I just said, you guys are the real trail angels. You guys be safe now.
Absolutely. Hope you. Everybody take a picture?
You know, when you're part of a family, the plan, the day always changes. So we were going to come here to Hughes Gap, but as you probably can hear, the wind is really brutal here. So there were only a few tent spots, so we decided we're going to push up the hill, see if we can find something better up the mountain. We'll see. DogTag out. All right, this is going to be short. April 16th morning, and it's freaking cold and windy, and I need to get moving. So DogTag is putting his phone away, putting my glove back on, and getting moving. See if we can find a nice sunny spot that's out of the wind. So DogTag out for now. Bye. Little DogTag here. I found a nice sunny spot out of the wind, so I could stop for a few seconds, get my hands warm, and before I go back up into the wind. And last night was tough. We were in a windy area, and the temperature dropped. It says it was in the 30s. My water didn't freeze, so I don't know if it got below freezing, but definitely got colder. Big Sexy had sent his sleeping bag home a couple days ago, so I felt bad for him and did not want him to be cold. So I gave him my bivy, because my quilt's rated at 20 degrees. As long as I was in my quilt, I was warm, you know, so I didn't really need my SOL bivy last night. But he said it was a game changer for him, so I was glad that he took it. And because initially he said, nah, I'll be all right. And I said, dude, don't let your ego get the better part of you. So he took it and he used it. He said he was still cold with it, but he said it would have been a miserable night without it. So glad he took me up on the offer. He's going to keep it for tonight, because we're at 5,000 feet right now. I know it doesn't seem high, but on the AT it is high. I mean, I found out from Optimus yesterday that Roan Mountain, which we're going over this morning, is the third highest peak on the AT. So with this wind up there, it is going to be brutal. So my video up on top of Roan Mountain might be short and sweet. Might take a couple still pictures because the wind will be so rough. We talked to a hiker that went over yesterday. She and another female hiker were up there. And they're small people. She said that she thought the wind was strong enough it was going to blow her off the mountain. So we're going to get up over it, get down, try to get down into about the 4,000 foot level. So maybe the temperatures will be a little bit better for us tonight. But you know, it's all part of the adventure. You know, no rain, no pain, and that's what we've been having this morning, because my hands did get cold. I had to stop and stick them in my armpits for a few minutes to make sure that they weren't frostbiting. But that's why I stopped here where the wind wasn't blowing as bad and the sun is out. So otherwise, it's a beautiful day. There is some clouds forming over off to the side there. And hope that doesn't mean no rain, because rain with this wind would be miserable, beyond miserable probably. And it would be like, let's find a hostel or let's find someplace in town. So, but it's nice to see some of the trees up here. They're in bloom. I don't know if you can see those right there, but they're starting to bloom. And the green's going to start coming to the green tunnel. So DogTag needs to get moving. Thank everybody for following and all the support. You know, with your text messages and your messages on my comments. Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. And thanks for following me on Facebook. I'll try to post something later on Facebook. Catch everybody up where we're at. So we stopped at mile marker 375 last night. So within a day or two, well, depending on how many miles we do each day, we should be approaching 400 very soon. So, alrighty, DogTag's moving on. Love y'all. Be safe, everyone. So this is Ash Gap, and this is where we were told there were only a few tent sites. Holy moly. If we'd have walked another mile and a half, we would have found this wonderful flat ground. The wind doesn't seem to be blowing here as much, but oh well. That's what you get when you listen to other people. So I see that Optimus and Dr. Quinn are downsizing on their cold weather, but so all right. I don't know if I want to take my jacket off just yet. DogTag out. DogTag here on almost on the top of Roan Mountain. But this is the site of the Cloudland Site Hotel. Yes, back in the 1800s there was no hotel up here that people could come up here and stay. You hear the chainsaws in the background? That's those trail angels, the Forestry Service clearing more trail. I'm gonna keep moving, and y'all take care, be safe. DogTag here. Look who I'm with. Two trail angels. They're foresters from Wyoming. They're they're up in the beautiful country. So all you guys that want to do the CDC, these are the guys that help clear that area. But they're out here, I guess, on 2-week stays.
Yep.
2-week stays. The federal government, I guess, gave people some money to help clear the trail, and that's what they're here doing, and we thank them for everything they're doing. So DogTag out. I guess this is part of the hotel. At some point, that was up here on this mountain. Boy, you must have been a rich individual to be able to come up here. But I'll tell you what a beautiful, beautiful place to be. Imagine at the time, a lot of these pines look pretty young, so they probably were planted after the hotel went away. So imagine they probably had a pretty open space up here to see all the views from top of Roan Mountain, third tallest mountain on the AT. DogTag needs to keep moving. Talk to you later. So DogTag here. Take my sweater off. This is the Roan Mountain shelter. It's locked up because it needs to be renovated, but it is the highest shelter on the AT. So It's 1/10 of a mile. I think it was a little more than that off of the trail. A lot of blowdown in this area, but I just felt like I was this close. I had to walk up here and see it. So it can be part of my historical journey. So wind's still blowing. Looks like there might have been some really nice or some halfway decent tent sites up here if you wanted to come up here. But like I said, I'm sure my group has moved on, and I just felt like I needed to take the extra little time and come up the side trail. It's one of those blue blaze trails that you kind of feel like if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. So I didn't want to regret it. So DogTag's heading back down and going to continue my trip north to Maine. Well, DogTag here at Carver's Gap. I get started up the other side, and then I get my Marco from the group, and I realize that they're here getting trail magic. And of course, trail magic comes in different forms. Right behind me is one form, a local privy. And then on this side was a forester, and he gave us some fruit and a little granola bar. And you can see kind of off in the distance there that the sign for North Carolina is over there. So we're still weaving back and forth between Tennessee and North Carolina. So it's all good. Got to use the privy, you know, and we're going to probably get back on the trail, and we've got probably about 4 more miles today, and hopefully it won't be as cold as it was last night. So I'll sign off for now. So DogTag out. DogTag here at the Bramer Castle in the bunk room. There's old Big Sexy over there eating his, I think they're pork rinds or something like that. And yep. And then Sticks just finished the shower. Big Sexy says this is the best shower he's had on the trail. We'll have to see. Sticks said that he thinks the hot water was running out, so I'm going to wait a little bit before I go take a shower. I don't want to get in there and disappoint Big Sexy by telling him the shower sucked because it had no hot water. So DogTag out for the day, and tomorrow will be another great day on the AT. So DogTag here, just needed to update y'all. Probably you're wondering because one of my videos said we were getting back on trail, and then the next video was going to show you that we were here at the Bramer Castle in Hampton, Tennessee. So yeah, we're still platinum blazing, and we as a group we decided to get off trail and come into town. Some of them needed to resupply. Of course, I ended up buying shit that I probably didn't need. But the Golden Arches was calling, so we had to all stop at the Golden Arches. And then we went to the local Dollar General store, did some resupply, and then came back here to the Bramer Castle. It's a building here in Hampton. The young man that's running the hostel gave us a little history of it. We thought it was an old school because it kind of looks like an old school. But come to find out, it was a building that was used by a lumber company that came here and was harvesting lumber at one time. And then he says it's been used pretty much for several things. It's been used as a school. It's been used as a party house. Down in the basement, he said his grandparents used to rent out the basement to have dances and stuff down there. And it was also the local post office here in Bramer, Tennessee. And so it's kind of interesting because on the map it shows this place is Hampton, Tennessee, but the building was the post office for Bramer, Tennessee. And he says that the town was, I guess, split at some point, depending on who you talk to. Some people will call it Bramer, Tennessee, and some will call it Hampton, Tennessee, but we call it the Bramer Castle. And it's a castle because the front of the building is all stone covered, and he told us that there were some, I think he said Irishmen that worked for the company, and they covered the building in stone, so it looks a lot like a castle, a stone castle. So this is where we ended up. We did not do a zero here, or we're not doing a zero here, because we're going to get up in the morning and go back up to where we were and get up and start hiking over some balds in the morning. And I don't know, we'll do some mileage and then we'll keep moving north to Maine. So and in the next video I'll show you is what our room looked like here at the castle. So you know, not bad. Probably not ranking number one as the hostel that we've stayed at, but it's definitely not the worst. So you know, it was just nice to get off trail and enjoy a little bit of afternoon time, get into town, and you know, now we get a good night's rest and hopefully be back on the trail in the morning. So we'll see y'all later, alligators. Be safe.